The first time students were asked to draw a graph, and some of the teacher online discussion boards and so on, "Oh, a graph, that's not fair!" It was incredibly easy to draw. But that's the only time. There have been times with discussions of eye anatomy or brain anatomy where many students have chosen to draw a little sketch of what a neuron looks like, or what the layers of cells are on the retina, this sort of thing. And that's not bad, but you cannot limit your answer to your drawing. You then have to explain your drawing in words. But if that helps clarify, we also had a Gestalt question once where people were drawing little things to indicate Gestalt principles. So it's not a bad thing, but you always want to explain what you're doing. Very good question.
I tried to look and it doesn't work.
What do you mean it doesn't work?
The I is an L.
Oh.
Lowercase L.
Oh.
I Googled.
That's
No,
a Google
no,
URL shortener
that
because the
F-
Dropbox
it goes-
one was tremendously long.
It goes FLD, not FI.
So it's a lowercase l, because I know that's case sensitive.
Yeah.
So it's F lowercase l and then uppercase D M K. Thank you for figuring that out. Anything else?
Can you specify again the time period in which they cannot talk about things after they've taken the test?
You're never allowed to talk about the multiple choice questions because some of those they use from year to year. So about 20% of the questions on your multiple choice test will have been used last year. These are called equator items. Remember I said the comparability studies are done every 5 years? They're pretty expensive. So one way that they learn whether you guys as a cohort, all the kids who take the test in 2015 are better prepared or not as well prepared as the kids who took the test last year, is to compare your scores on these equator items. If you do better on those equator items than the kids last year, then Elizabeth Hammer is justified in giving a higher percentage of you guys 5s because you're better prepared than last year's group. So because of the potential, and also for teaching, there was a teacher way back in the 90s who had about 100 kids take the test, and she claimed she did this innocently, hadn't thought about the implications. She simply assigned every student in class to memorize one of the questions. You take number 5, you take number 6, you take number 7, and then the day after the test, she essentially reassembled the entire test so that they could use it to talk about, she could teach from it the next year. That's bad. Okay. So what you can do on May 5th is come back and you can ask Ms. Rogers questions about concepts. You can say, well, would you go over binocular visual cues again? As long as you don't say, there was a question about binocular visual cues where the answers were this, 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 and this. Okay, you can talk about concepts, you can't talk about questions. That's a pretty fine line in between. 48 hours approximately after you take the test, the 2 FRQs will be posted on the AP Central website. And at the time they're posted, the 2 operational questions, the 2 that most people take, they'll be posted. And as soon as they're posted, you can talk freely about those. What else?
What percentage of takers get a 5?
In psychology, pretty consistently, it's about 18 to 20% that get 5s, and about a quarter that get 4s, and almost always there are a third that don't reach a 3. And it's about 1/3. And that puts it in the middle in toughness compared to the other AP subjects. And it's really interesting to get to AP conferences and talk to teachers in other disciplines. Some of the exams that are really, really hard, those teachers seem proud of the fact that only 48% pass the test. I think they're just saying they're bad teachers. Because if they're good teachers, shouldn't more of their students pass the test? Yeah, I would love to see 100% get 3 or above. And that may very well happen here in Cedar Falls. There were a lot of years where nobody got 1s and 2s on the test because they were well prepared.
My next question is, how does that percentage naturally compare to just the Cedar Falls?
Cedar Falls has always been well above. When I was on test development, I was privy to data that isn't released nationally, but there was 1 year in the 3 hours on test development where for schools with 25 or more students, Cedar Falls had the highest average on the site test in the nation, in the world, in the universe.
That's thanks to you.
Well, it's thanks to a lot of things. I mean, I have been there in the beginning, so even then I was able to teach kids the kind of stuff I taught you today. Like Ms. Rogers, I spent a lot of time learning the psychology, because I wanted to be able to teach the psychology. But it's also a very supportive community where the people support education, the parents support education. You come into the AP psychology class, most of you knowing good study skills. I know AP psych teachers that have to spend 2 weeks at the beginning just teaching study skills, because kids come in not knowing it. You come in knowing how to write a sentence because of our English department. So there are many, many things that contribute to that, although the teaching is certainly part of it. Okay, well then I'm going to go walk through. Thanks guys, it's been fun.